Guys, welcome to the Chef's Backyard. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious turkey chili. It's super easy. Of course, you can start with fresh ingredients, but I'm going to show you how to speed it up a little bit. We're going to use a couple of cans, a little bit of fresh, and make it quick and easy. That way you can do it at home. We're just going to need a few ingredients. What we've got here is we've got some ground turkey. I've got a sweet onion that's already diced. We've got a can of fire roasted tomatoes already diced with garlic. We've got our spices. I'll go ahead and list those out in the video description. We've got a can of black beans. Those are already rinsed and drained. Take a look at those fire roasted tomatoes, guys. They've got some beautiful charring on them, and that's gonna bring out a whole bunch of flavor. Now, in this recipe, we're going to use our Knorr tomato with chicken broth. And if you want to make it spicy, add some crushed red pepper. And instead of the water to reconstitute the broth, we're going to use a beer. After all, this is chili. And then we've got a couple of garnishes here. I've got some diced onion. It's kind of minced. I've got some shredded cheese, and we've got some Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. You ready to cook? Let's go. All right, so we're gonna turn on our fire. I've got a Dutch oven here. I wanna say this is 3.5 quart Dutch oven. First thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna brown our turkey, okay? You can add some olive oil in if you like. This one is 85% lean, so it's got some fat in there, and we'll let that render out. We'll do this one real lean tonight. As always with my ground meats, I like to use my potato masher. I find that it gets a really good texture on it. If you don't want it that fine, you can just use a spoon and chop it up. That's okay. All right, so like I said, potato masher. You can see that we're already building up steam in there, and this is already cooking. If I was using beef, I would want to brown this, drain off the fat, and then return it to the pan. But since this turkey is going to be so lean, we're just going to leave it all in there. We didn't start with any fat, and so we'll just let it use its own natural juices. All right, so we're about 5 minutes into the cook here. You can see the water is rendering out of the turkey. That's good. We've got a little Maillard reaction, a little bit of browning going on up here. That's going to equal flavor. And we're going to deglaze that with the liquid from the onions after we brown this, and our beer that we're going to turn into a broth. Now, you can use beer, or you can use water, or you can use wine. And since I'm using a bouillon powder, we're going to reconstitute it. Instead of using water, we're going to use beer tonight. If this is your first time here, my name is John. I've been a cook and a chef for the last 25 years. And during that time, I got married, had a family. I'm raising 3 children with my wife. And my goal to you is to use what I've learned in the kitchen to speed up your recipes and teach you just a little bit of technique, tips, or tricks to help you get dinner on the table faster and more flavorful. All right, so we've cooked out most of that water. Let's go ahead and keep it cooking. You see how we're starting to get brown bits right up here? I want to get more of those, but I want to get that on the down towards the bottom of the pan as well. And adjust your heat. You can turn it down, okay? We don't want to burn any of this. We just want to cook it and brown it and get the best flavors out of it that we can. All right, guys, so now I'm going to pull out the spatula, this silicone spatula. But see how we're starting to get all these nice brown bits over here? At this point, we're going to add in our onion. The onion has a lot of water content in it, and that's going to cook down, and it will help to deglaze the pan. And that's just reconstituting what's burning onto the side of the pan there, and it'll help us to pick it up. And that's a key flavor builder there. See how it's coming up because of that steam? All right, guys, at this point, I want to go ahead and add some more of my liquid, and we're going to do those tomatoes. Now, as you can see over here, see how that is helping me to pick up all of those brown bits off of the bottom of your pan? This is a very important step. This will also help you with washing and cleaning up, because by deglazing the pan, you're helping to make it easier on yourself whenever you go to wash those dishes. And you're not leaving any flavor behind in that pan. There's a term used in cooking, and it's called au sec, and that means cook it until it's dry. And that's kind of what we're doing here, is we're gonna deglaze, and then we're gonna cook out that liquid, and it's just concentrating flavors, okay guys? But right now, if you see on the bottom of the pan, nothing is sticking, right? We're even able to get this up here on the sides. All right, so we've been cooking this down for a few minutes. And if you notice, if I drag the spatula through the bottom of the pan, we're pretty dry there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna begin to add and bloom the spices. We're gonna add this guy in right there, and I'm gonna start stirring it around. The residual liquid is going to help to reconstitute the spices, but more importantly, the heat will bring the oils of the spices out, and that really makes them vibrant and alive. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in some of this chicken tomato bouillon. We're gonna do 12 ounces of liquid, so you want somewhere around a tablespoon of that. 2 teaspoons, tablespoon would be good. I'll go ahead and add that beer in there. Use this chance to take that liquid and really deglaze the pan good. Get all of that flavor that you've cooked out right back into the chili, right? Chili's supposed to be about flavor. Big, bold flavors, right? So we want to capture all of that. We've worked hard for it. And then the final step, we'll add those black beans, drained and rinsed. Stir it all together. Now see, in a pot of chili, your spoon should be able to stand straight up. So we've got to let this cook just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and simmer it for 20 to 30 minutes. If you want it spicy, now is the time to add your crushed red peppers. But for now, with the amount of liquid that's in there, I'm going to cover it and just leave it just a little bit uncovered so that some of that will evaporate off. But I get to kind of control that. So we'll check on it We'll check in on it about every 5 minutes and give it a stir through. And then after about 20 to 30 minutes, our chili should be ready to serve. All right, guys, so while our chili is simmering, I'm gonna go wash these dishes. We'll see you back in a minute. Well, all right, guys, so we have achieved what we set out to do. We made a beautiful pot of chili, thick enough for our spoon to stand up in. Check that out. All right, so super excited about that. We've let our chili simmer for 30 minutes. It got nice and thick. The spices have bloomed, and we are ready to make a bowl of chili. Let's check it out. So I got a ladle here, and we're just gonna put enough for a serving in here. Now, it's up to you how you wanna eat your chili. If you want your chili to have more liquid in it and be more of a soup, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Add more broth. Add more flavorful liquids, right? We can do beer or wine. Just pick one of those if you're gonna do that, or broth, and add it to the thickness of your liking. But let's go ahead and garnish this. So we'll put some garnishes on here. On our bowl of chili, we'll take some of those minced onions and we'll kind of drop them on there. Little fresh minced onion. We'll take this cheese, all of it. Take all of the cheese. I love cheese. And then we'll take some of our Greek yogurt. And then just to remind us that, you know, hey, this is chili, we'll go ahead and do some of those chili pepper flakes. Crushed red pepper flakes. All right, guys, here it is. I'm super excited about this one. It smells so good. We've got some great garnishes on there. Man, my mouth is watering. I am so ready for this. Let's grab a little bit of that. Make sure we got some of that sour cream to add some of that richness, especially since it's turkey chili. You know, turkey is really lean. Wow, that's bursting with flavor. So much good flavor in there. Now you could do a couple of different beans in there. Maybe a black bean, a cannelli bean, and a kidney bean. Those 3 beans in there, they're real hearty. Cannelli beans are kind of creamy, and kidney beans are rich. Black beans are really hearty. Yeah, man. Give this a try. Share it with your friends if you like the recipe. And we'll see you soon here at the Chef's Backyard. Oh, man. That chili sure is delicious. I'd like to thank you for joining me here at the Chef's Backyard. Make sure you check out some of my other videos if you like this one. I've got over 100 recipe videos on my channel. Check out my other social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Check out my website, www.chefs-backyard.com. We'll see you soon here at the Chef's Backyard.